Now let's look at the funnel chart at SharePoint This is a chart commonly used in a sales situation, for example, where you have many leads and then you go through a progression of steps, and eventually, of course, the goal is that they're converted to customers. Of course, there are many other scenarios that fit. This chart is very similar to another chart at the site, which is the pyramid chart. In fact, this is an inverted pyramid. When you get to this template, the first thing you should do is check out the different theme options so you can browse through there and get some ideas in terms of the look and feel. And then the next thing you should do is indicate how many different columns you're going to be using for this chart. This can support anywhere between 2 and 8 SharePoint columns containing the data. So for example, if I have 5, you'll see it'll adjust to use 5 values. All of the colors can be adjusted, including the canvas background and the border. And then, of course, you should enter a title for your chart in the chart title field. Note that there is a special requirement for this chart. You do need to include a column called total, which should be a calculated column, which would be the accumulated value of all the fields that you're using. If you look at my example data, I have 8 columns and an additional column called total, which is a calculated field which adds the values of all the fields in the record that is required. Once you've got all that set, you can copy it over. Another thing that should be now noted in this type of chart, optionally you can have it include a spout at the bottom, like a regular funnel that you might use, or if for some reason you don't like that, just uncheck that box. We're going to go ahead and use it in our example. Note that the fields are in sequence, starting from the bottom of the funnel going up. So as you enter the fields, the order of the fields is important, and make sure you take note of that. Typically the smallest values should be at the bottom, and then incrementally they would get bigger. And then the total area for that section is calculated by this chart template. So I'm going to fill in my fields. I have 8 fields that I'm filling in. That's the name of my SharePoint fields. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to copy the template and follow these directions. Come over to SharePoint and go to the View selector, select Format Current View, then Advanced Mode, and then I'm going to paste in my code and save. And there is my chart. Now once you've got it in there, you can tweak the values. So for example, I don't want my chart to be titled My Chart Title. That's just filler text. So I can just switch that over. I can say this is for sales leads. I can just make that minor adjustment, copy the template again, and then all I do is select the code and paste. And there we have a different title at the top. So you can make some fine-tuning adjustments after the initial setup very easily, just to make sure it's got that exact look that you want to share with your users. Hope you enjoy, and as I mentioned, note that there is another similar template which is called the pyramid chart, which is just inverted. It's just moving in the opposite direction, so you can check that out as well. Good luck.